Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it's time for another Leeds United update. Leeds possibly looking at one of the breakout stars of this year's World Cup, and what a World Cup it has been. Good luck, Lionel Messi, in the final, whoever you may face. Hopefully it'll be Morocco. And we're actually going to be speaking about a Moroccan player in this very video. So without further ado, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. And let's get into it.
I don't think I do it.
Arsenal started like house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any love, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. So, folks, as a lot of you will have seen throughout the World Cup, our chairman, regardless of what you think of him, has been spotted and has enjoyed the World Cup over in Qatar. Obviously, he has great relations with the Aspire Academy. We were once linked with them. He's friends of the PSG president, of course. It's a shame he couldn't have brought him in to the football club, you know. But Andrea Radrizzani's been there, and he's been casting his gaze across some of the players at this year's tournament. And it turns out he's actually been on the blower to our very own director of football, Mr. Victor Orta, on a number of occasions about certain players. Victor Orta did an interview in Murcia over in Spain and spoke specifically about one player that Leeds United may well dip into the market for. Considered one of the breakout players of this year's World Cup and definitely playing for the surprise package of the tournament in Morocco is Azzedine Ounahi, 22-year-old midfielder who currently plays in Ligue 1 for French side Angers. He started every single game of the tournament for Morocco and played a big part in their journey towards the semi-final. He's a number 8. Can play in a number of positions, though, predominantly a number 8, though, and a great number 8 at that. Can also play in attacking midfield and defensive midfield, and that's something Leeds United know all too well they need to address, because as we know, Tyler Adams is going to be out for Manchester City, and already we're all worried about who's going to fill in that spot. I've heard many Yorkshire-based journalists posing that question to fans. Who will it be? Will it be Click? Will it be Greenwood? Will it be Forshaw? No disrespect to any of them players, and like you say, you know, Click's one of my boys, but it doesn't fill me with confidence. And then you have to think long-term as well and say, well, what would happen actually if Rocker or Adams were to get injured? And it was a little bit more longer term than just one game due to a suspension. We need bodies there. Now, of course, we were discussing the other day about the potential of bringing in Yuna Musa. He's someone I'd definitely be all over. But another player that's clearly caught the eye of Andrea Radrizzani, as Victor Orta said, look, our chairman gave me a call and said, why haven't you been all over this player? He's playing in Ligue 1. You have a good understanding of the French league. Why are we not all over this? And you can understand as to why, because his current market value is just set at 3.5 million. Now, that is very, very cheap. However, there are a host of other clubs looking at him, not least Leicester in the Premier League. And I'm reading reports that they could be going in for a record bid of 39 million, which, you know, could well blow Leeds out of the water just due to how good his World Cup has been. But also Barcelona are interested in a January move for him as well. And you can understand if they come a knocking, regardless of the current situation, he's going to want to opt to go to Spain. Of course, the World Cup tends to throw up players like this. I mean, some are very successful, others not so much. Look at the likes of JUSTJOE, etc., that moved to Liverpool after their successful World Cup with Senegal. It doesn't always work out. And Victor Orta has maybe thrown a few spanners in the work to say, look, I've been aware of this guy for a very, very long time. However, his performances have been nowhere close to what he's doing currently at the World Cup. He's played for 2 seasons at Angers in Liga. Statistically, according to FB Ref, he's very comparable to the likes of Frankie de Jong at Barca. A big player that I really, really enjoy, that maybe some of you might sniff your nose up at, but I really like Loftus-Cheek. And also Fofana, who's been playing a lot for the French national side off the bench, who's currently plying his trade at Lens. Now, the Angers chairman, Shaban, I think his name did come out and say, look, the phone has been ringing a lot. Quite a lot, in fact. But I think it's quite interesting that Radrizzani's had this conversation with Orta. Will Leeds United look to get involved in the negotiations? We know they're looking at Kuna, waiting to see how that settles. If indeed there is to be any sort of bidding war for Ounahi you would imagine Leeds United are probably not going to be involved. And is it another one of them that maybe we've missed the boat on? Because Victor said, look, I am aware of it, but a deal has failed to materialise, which is regularly seems to be an issue at this football club. But I do think it's quite telling and one to watch. He will be playing tonight, of course, against France in the semi-final of the World Cup. So if you're watching that, have a look for him. Of course, there's been other bigger players, not least Amrabat, who's getting all the plaudits, but Ounahi is someone who has, like I say, started every game for Morocco, and there's a lot of suitors for him. Leicester linked, Barcelona linked, but I thought it was quite telling that Victor Orta spoke about this over in Spain, and the fact that Radrizzani actually gave him the call and said, look, have a look at this player, why aren't we all over him? Current market value of 3.5 million. Again, it looks like you're going to have to pay a lot more than that, but it also fills me with a little bit more confidence that maybe Radrizzani is looking at players and they are aware, because I do worry that our options after Roca and Adams are Forshaw, Click and Greenwood. And let's be honest, Click's probably going to leave. So that leaves Forshaw, Greenwood and JB. It doesn't fill me with confidence. It's looking like we could well be within touching distance of a relegation battle or indeed in it. So we need bodies, because if we got a long-term injury to either Roca or to Adams, we're up shit creek for me. There's players out there. Musa, for example, from Valencia. Ounahi from Angers. There are players out there. So even if you're not going to get one after the World Cup because their valuation's at its highest, I mean, we just have to look at Tyler Adams. He's not going anywhere by any stretch of the imagination, but can you imagine what that's done for his valuation for Leeds United? They'll be licking their lips at the fact that he's gone and done as well as he has, because we paid a miserly 20 million for him. You know what I mean? So this is what the World Cup can do. So maybe we won't dip our toe in the waters of Ounahi, of Musa, but it just shows there's players out there. And it shows as well that the board are active in looking at making this squad better. So fingers crossed we will get deals done. Let me know your thoughts on Ounahi. Let me know your thoughts on that midfield. If indeed Adams and Roca were to get injured, what's that going to mean for us? Keep it locked at the Just Joe Football Show as per. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
I don't think I do it.
Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt.
Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah.